Hi, Dr. Greg Scott here. I wanted to talk a little bit today about my practice philosophy. So, if you've read about me on my website, you'll see that I'm a doctor of chiropractic, but I'm also a functional medicine practitioner. And what that means is this is a truly holistic, my approach to any given condition that walks through my door is going to be truly holistic, meaning the entire body is looked at and not just one particular aspect of the body. Like, for example, in chiropractic, primarily what we look at is just the musculoskeletal system. And what I like to do is kind of look at everything. And ultimately, what it boils down to for me is a scientific principle called epigenetics. And what epigenetics basically states is that we have a set of genetics within our bodies. Each cell contains chromosomes that are made up of DNA, and ultimately the DNA is what determines whether or not we have what our hereditary traits are. And so, kind of an older way of thinking is that we're born with all of these traits. We get half of it from our mother and half of it from our father. We're born with all of these traits, and ultimately, they basically will determine what kind of diseases we'll end up with eventually later on in life. What epigenetics says is that yes, we are born with this set of genetics, but ultimately, it's the environmental factors, not only the external environment, everything around us, but also the internal environment of the body. It's all of those factors that go into and ultimately determine whether or not our genes get expressed towards and express basically healthy genes or unhealthy genes that might lead to disease. And so the way I like to say it is that uh, you can't change your genes, but you can change how you express those genes. So that's really what my practice philosophy is. And there's basically three main factors that go into all those environmental factors. There's three main categories that I like to talk about when I have new patients in my office. The first one everyone's really familiar with. It's chemicals. I'll just put that as a general term, chemicals. But positive things, positive factors for us are going to be like vitamins and minerals, all the healthy foods that we can eat in our diet, and those kinds of things. Negative things might be the entire environmental toxins and pollutants all around us, but also if we're allergic or have sensitivities to certain foods like gluten or something like that, for example, those could have negative influences on our genetic expression. So chemicals is our first one. Our second one is I'll just call physical, and this is where the majority of all chiropractors fall in because they want to do adjustments to restore proper physical function of the body, which can ultimately lead to the expression of health within the individual. However, this is just one aspect. Other considerations that you should look at beyond just the chiropractic adjustment is physical therapy or exercises, or just exercise in general, briskly walking or a little bit of light running and stuff like that. Of course, negative influences also play a role in the physical factors that lead to gene expression, and that could be surgeries or maybe injuries that you've had in the past. And so oftentimes we think about surgeries to remove a problem, but we don't think about maybe what the long-term consequences of that would be. Like, for example, if you have an acute gallbladder attack, you may need to get the gallbladder removed, but what does that mean long term for you? How does that change your genetic expression, ultimately your physiology? And there are things that should be looked at that are oftentimes overlooked. So we have chemical, physical. The last one that I like to talk about is the mental aspect. I like to put stress in this category. If we're having too much stress, then that's a negative influence. Depression can sometimes go in that category as well. And positive factors for mental health can include prayer, meditation, and things like that. All of these factors is what I like to look at, and basically how I define my practice philosophy, and how I assess people when they come in as new patients. And ultimately, it's the choices that we make in this life that determines how good our life ends up being, how high a quality of our health is, and And so look, if you've been struggling with something, you've been working with a practitioner and they're not addressing everything, you think that they're missing something, they're not spending enough time with you, then I would highly recommend you seek out a functional medicine provider just like myself. And if you're watching this and this is really resonating with you, then give me a call, 913-701-6708, and we can start talking about maybe some things that we should be looking at to help benefit you and improve your health and start your journey on a road towards true health and true wellness. So I thank you for watching today, and I hope this helped you.